What's up, everyone? This is Gaming Benito, and we're here with a Days Gone accountable review. So, accountable review is where we hold games accountable based on their goods and their bads. And basically, their bads would be called debits, and their goods would be called credits, similar to banking, similar to accounting. The point of this review concept is for me to help you guys value the video game, if it's worth $60, or is it better off waiting till it's discounted, or is it better off just not experiencing the game at all. So Days Gone is a third person zombie shooter. The reason why I wouldn't call it a third person zombie survivor is because I feel like the survival elements of this game is not as strong as I was expecting it to be. Similar. Now let's start off with the credits. The first credit I'll give this game is graphics. The game looks good. I played on the PS4 Slim. The graphics look good. I like the environment, the character models, all of that good stuff. Next, we have the debit. So one debit that we're gonna have to put to this game is the aiming. The aiming feels kind of wonky. It feels kind of like last minute, like that's the last thing they worked on. I didn't really like the feel of the controls as far as aiming goes. The aiming was definitely tolerable though. I was still able to play the game and not have any issues. Eventually, you get kind of used to the wonkiness and you get better at it, but also with the gun to bike mechanics while you're riding the bike and shooting a gun, that was kind of put in last minute. I could tell because you don't really get to manually aim the gun. What you do is, I believe you press the L1 button on your PS4 controller, and it basically locks on to any enemy, and you wait for the arrows to close in closer to the object that you're shooting at, and then once you press the trigger button, that's when you can fire. I found that a pretty much laziness because it kind of takes you away from the gameplay, and it kind of makes the gameplay. Another credit that I'll give Days Gone is the voice actors. The voice actors are pretty good at this game. Like the main protagonist, Deacon, his voice actor is pretty good. As far as the cutscenes go, the cutscenes aren't that good, and the story can be somewhat boring at times. But I believe the voice actor gets you get through. As Deacon traverse through the world, he's like kind of talking to himself, like similar to like a survivor, and like he kind of have this like paranoia feel going on with him, which I kind of enjoyed most about the game. But all the other characters are kind of bland. The side characters didn't do much for me in the story. The voice actors were great, but I didn't really feel like any personal relationship between Deacon and the other characters. Sometimes you feel kind of misinformed because these Deacon and these characters have past relationships, but the timeline is kind of ahead of that, which kind of introduces characters, but not really in a sense. Unfortunately, there's another debit, and one thing I had an issue with is the sound distance and sound detection in this game. I played this game with headphones. I got HyperX Cloud headphones, and the sound wasn't that good. Like, as you're sneaking around trying to kill through zombies, trying to avoid their attention, you kind of, it sounds like zombies are everywhere and not in specific directions. Like, if you, for example, if you play Rainbow Six Siege, you could hear like someone moving from the left side of your ear or the right side of your position. And I think the lack of sound position kind of kills the gameplay mechanics of the game as far as sneaking around and trying to traverse through the world. The next credit I could give it is the animation. The animation in this game is pretty smooth. That's to be expected from like a AAA title. I like the ragdoll physics from the zombies. Also the gun animations are pretty good. The guns feel like it has a pretty good kick, like the shotgun. They have like a pistol called shotgun called Little Shorty that just have a huge impact on zombies, which I like the most. I like the ragdoll physics, like from when you fall down, sometimes your bike fell if you don't pick it up properly, and things like that. I feel like those animations allows the game to be more engaging. Unfortunately, from now on, all we have is straight debits. So one thing I had an issue with is constant frame drops. So when I first purchased this game, I had a few stutters here and there, but I thought that's just to be expected because I don't have the PS4 Pro. I just had the regular PS4. And then the next time I played it, I started to notice I started getting huge frame drops, like constantly. Like when I was riding the bike towards the world, I seen constant frame drops, and it was frustrating. Like at some point I wanted to return the game because at some point it felt unplayable because it was just always frame drops. It was slowing me down, and it made the game longer than what it had to be. Eventually, I contacted PlayStation support, and a lady told me the reason that you could solve this issue is by restoring the licenses. So apparently, restoring the licenses helped improve the frames, and after that, didn't see any issues with the frames, not as much as I did before. Another dev we have here is loading time. So when I first booted up the game, I kid you not, I had to wait at least 2 to 3 minutes for the game to load a cutscene, and it took a long time. And this was at the beginning of the game, like as soon as you open the game, and that was a little annoying. So I just thought it was in the beginning, and then further on as I play, I've noticed that each time you boot the game, like from PS4 to like Days Gone, you see that the loading times are a long time, and it's just like it just brings you out of the game. I even found in the cutscenes where like it'll jump from cutscene to black to gameplay, which was kind of weird. I wish they would have transitioned the cutscenes to the gameplay, similar to Witcher in a sense. If they did it that way, I feel like the game would be a lot more better in that sense of keeping players engaged in the story. Also, another debit is the bad pacing of the story. I feel like in the beginning of the game, it takes a while to pick up, especially with the lack of guns and ammos you have. Sometimes you feel kind of limited. The story is bland in the beginning, but I feel like once you get past the 10-hour mark, the game gets a little better as far as character development and introducing new things like new guns, new ammos. Your motorcycle is gonna have better performance. Another credit I'll give this game is the bike mechanics. At first, I didn't really like the bike mechanic because I felt like I would have to babysit the bike. But as time progressed, and so you're able to upgrade your bike, you can add like more performance to make it faster, bigger fuel tank for longer fuel. Another thing you get to add is turbo and things like that. So that was pretty good. So the balance comes out to negative $20. So the suggested price to purchase this game is $40. Now this section, I'll give my raw honest opinion. To be honest, I like the game. I feel like the game was heading in the right direction. I just feel like they failed to execute on some things. A lot of mechanics they borrow from like a lot of games like Far Cry, Grand Theft Auto with the dynamic events. And the game is pretty solid. I just feel like it didn't create an identity for itself. It just felt like a regular AAA title. And to be honest, I know this is going to be one of the forgettable titles in this PlayStation, in this generation. This is the end of the video. Please feel free to leave a comment below. Tell me what are your opinions on the game, and also give me some critique. Tell me how I can improve this review. This is my first video, so I would definitely love some feedback. But this is Gaming Benito, and we're out.